Thanks for tuning in to SCSU Local. I'm your host, Nissan Brown.
And I'm Ramona Morozes.
Find out how St. Cloud makes a safer road by building a roundabout.
SCSU Local starts now. A new roundabout is being built right next to St. Cloud State's campus. Let's take a look.
This fall, the campus of St. Cloud has been cut in half by the construction of a roundabout at 5th Avenue and University Drive, causing extra hassle for new residents. However, the new roundabout hopes to improve traffic efficiency and reduce accidents. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety provides insight into the safety improvements a roundabout offers.
At traditional intersections, some of the most common crashes are right angle and left turn collisions. These can be severe because the vehicles often are going fast to make it through a green light. At roundabouts, these crashes essentially are eliminated because vehicles travel in the same direction and at slower speeds. Converting intersections to roundabouts reduces all crashes 40% and injury crashes 80%.
As of this fall, there are 5 roundabouts in the St. Cloud area, with a 6th under construction. Bill Nelson of Landwehr Construction is overseeing this roundabout.
The roundabout eliminates streetlights, which are expensive, and it's also much more convenient for traffic once everybody gets used to them. Once we get moved in, traffic has to get moved over. It's just a 4-lane road, so they move it all over to one side, so it's one lane in each direction. And then we will do removals on the other side, which would be removal of streetlights, curb and gutter, the existing pavement, existing storm sewers. You get the deep part first, you get the pipe work done first, and then complete the subcut and come in with your gravel base and asphalt. We have backhoes and dozers for excavating the subcut, a 2-foot subcut, to remove existing soils and replace it with a nice sand that drains very well and is frost resistant. And the same machinery is used for excavating for the new pipes that go in there, stormwater pipes, and there's a little bit of water pipe on the job also, but mostly stormwater. When the students come back, it increases the density of traffic, but with the traffic control measures, it's not a major issue.
Sitting here with City Engineer Steve Foss. Thank you, Steve, for being with us today.
You're welcome.
So, Steve, can you tell me the specific role you play in the building of the roundabout?
Well, I'm a city engineer, so we function as with public works and all of your public works improvements, whether they be sewer, water, streets, roadways, or in this case, the intersection control of the roundabouts. So we do the initial studies, the design, and then we administer the actual building of the improvement.
So what decision, or how did you come up with the decision to build a roundabout here on University Ave?
It's part of an overall corridor study that we're conducting at University Drive all the way from 5th Avenue over to Highway 10. What's done is called an intersection control evaluation, ICE report. It looks at the amount of traffic, the movements of traffic, how many turning movements you have, and then it evaluates basically a signal versus a roundabout. In this case, the evaluation said the signal provided, or excuse me, the roundabout provided superior capacity.
How do you determine a start date for this type of project?
Well, ideally, we'd like to start early spring construction and make use of the summer construction in Minnesota. On this one, because of the federal monies involved, there were lengthy plan review processes. The plans had to go down to the Minnesota Department of Transportation for their review. An agreement had to be drafted for the cost participation, the federal funding. All of that, plus the state shutdown, caused us not to start until just shortly. I think it was at the 8th of July we started work on it. So later than we would have liked, but because of all the federal review times, that was the earliest we could get going.
When is the completion date set for?
Our substantial completion is October 15th. Substantial completion means that the roadway is fully open, the curb, gutter, the asphalt are down, you're driving on the road, but there may be some auxiliary type things, seeding, sodding, restoration things that may not be complete. But by October 15th, the road will be fully opened to both vehicle and pedestrian traffic.
Were you concerned at all about students and the flow of traffic with students coming back for St. Cloud?
Yes, originally our intent was to try to start early enough in the spring. We knew we couldn't construct it just during the summer months that the St. Cloud State is not in session. We had hoped to start in the spring when your students had already been here for several months and wouldn't be coming new into town and having to deal with it. But because of the delays in the state things, we weren't able to complete that. We did stage the construction. Anybody who's driven has noticed that we are maintaining traffic across the bridge at all times. We constructed half of the new road. We pushed the traffic over onto that. It's called staging. And so instead of closing the road, building it, which would have taken less time, we're doing staging where we maintain one lane of traffic at all times. So it's caused some delays, but it really hasn't caused people to go too far out of their way getting confused or lost.
How much does a project like this cost, and how is it funded?
The total cost on this particular project is about $2.5 million, and of that, about 1.8 is federal funded. The rest of it is local cost, probably local option sales tax. That's a pretty high percent of federal funding on this one. It was money that was originally earmarked for expansion of the bridge to a 4-lane facility. We determined that was not an appropriate use of those funds this time, so we got permission to roll that funding off of the bridge and onto the intersection instead.
Okay. So how does a roundabout benefit the community?
Well, it does a lot of things for you. The reason you have a traffic signal, obviously, is to handle the amount of allocate the right of way to get people through the intersection. What the roundabout does for you has a higher total capacity. It has a traffic calming aspect to it. Anybody who's ever driven a roadway knows that what happens is the light turns yellow. Instead of people slowing down, they speed up because they want to make it through that signal quick before it turns red. So you actually will have cars entering an intersection at, say, 40 miles an hour. The roundabout will slow everybody down. Nobody has to come to a complete, or very few have to come to a complete stop, but everybody has to slow down to approximately 15 miles an hour to maneuver around the roundabout. So it has a traffic calming aspect to it, slows them down. It has more of a steady state. If you pull up to a light sometimes and you sit there and you go, how come the light's red? There's no cars in the other legs. The roundabout won't do that to you. The roundabout will say, if there's nobody in the other legs, go ahead and proceed. So it has that benefit. It has a total capacity benefit. What happens on signals is they work real well until you get a lot of turning movements, which you have at this particular intersection, okay? Then you start needing dual left turn lanes and long left turn lanes, and it gets to be a lot of delay. The total amount of delay goes up. So the roundabout will minimize delay, have a traffic calming aspect to it as well.
So you mentioned that there's a lot of turning at this intersection. Were there any other reasons that made you decide to use this intersection for a roundabout?
Well, this intersection was scheduled for an improvement to handle capacity. We could have done that either by expanding the signal, adding either lengthening or adding dual left turn lanes. When you start doing this, you're getting a real large footprint. As it was, anybody who's familiar with the area will notice that we purchased 2 properties, one in the northwest and one in the northeast. Excuse me, the on the west side, northwest and southwest corners of the intersection. We purchased 2 properties and moved them to get a big enough footprint to put this down. The roundabout, the signal would have had even larger impact on properties.
Okay. Are there any other costs that either a roundabout eliminates or creates?
Well, it's got a little higher initial cost than a signal. You do have, you don't have the maintenance issues, you don't have power outages, you don't have those type of things. They're just energy consumption that you do with a signal, but they're relatively minor. What you really get is a better level of service for the users.
All right. So is there a plan in place for the safe crossing of students now that the signals aren't there?
Well, really, it's not really a plan in place. When you look at a roundabout versus a signal, it has built-in features for the pedestrians right built into it. So it's not an afterthought. You're not adding something else. What a roundabout does is allows each pedestrian to cross one direction of traffic at a time. So normally if you cross a roadway, you've got to look at traffic on both ways. There's a splitter island in each one of these. So what you do is you cross just one direction of traffic. You pause in the splitter island, sort of like you would with a 4-lane divided road with a concrete median. You pause there and you cross the next one. So you only have to deal with traffic going in one direction at a time. Traffic is slowed down. You're looking at 15 mile an hour versus 30. So those are things that are built right into the roundabout. So they are designed to handle pedestrians as well as the cars.
Well, we spoke to some students here on campus about the current construction going on. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
I'm Paige Salter. I live in Bridgeport, and I think the construction, it wakes me up in the morning at 6, normally 6:30. It's just kind of annoying, and we have to walk through all of it, so there's no sidewalk. And I think, like, if it's not done soon, then it's going to be kind of a hassle to get out for, like, hockey games, football games. Just, it's kind of like a inconvenience. And I don't know what the problem with the lights were.
I'm Tom Mountain. I live in the Bridgeport apartments behind me. I don't really like the roundabout. It's waking up at 6 in the morning to road construction and your bed shaking isn't exactly fun. There's no stoplight, so I think cars are just gonna fly by it and not really stop and look. The construction usually lasts from like 5 or 6 o'clock at night, so when I'm trying to eat or relax, it's still going on. With the hockey center being down there and all the sports that are in Hollenbeck, I think it's just gonna be a huge hassle for people to get there, and there's not a lot of roundabouts around, so people don't really know how to drive them.
I live over by Sartell, by the new Walmart, where there's a bunch of roundabouts, and the major thing I have to say about them is a lot of people don't really understand how to drive on them. They create confusion and could lead to more accidents. But this construction, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. I guess it just takes a couple more minutes to get to school.
So students seem to be more concerned about the public driving safely around the roundabouts. What measures are in place to inform the public?
Well, there's a lot of signage, both roadside signage and pavement markings on the roundabout, on the surface, to help explain to the motorists as they're approaching them. I think one thing you'll find is people are scared of them. They're new. Well, there's 2 up by the Sam's Club and the Walmart now. There's 2 in St. Cloud on Pinecone Road. This will be the 5th one. I think as the public experiences them, they're relatively straightforward to use. There's also pamphlets that are posted around a lot of the public buildings. They're in our facility, City Hall. They're out at Stearns County Highway. I think there's even some of the major stores have them. We put a little pamphlet together that just explains the basic principles of how to safely drive a roundabout. And the basic principles are you make only right-hand turns, you yield to the vehicle that's in the roundabout. So I think once people kind of get past the novelty of it, they'll get used to it.
Well, thank you again, Steve, so much for being with us today. And if you need more information on how to drive around a roundabout, please visit the City of St. Cloud's website at www.ci.stcloud.mn.us. And there'll be more SCSU Local after the break.
I'm Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
I wouldn't have been at this ceremony if I hadn't been at this ceremony first. Unfortunately, nearly 30% of U.S. high school students aren't making it to graduation. And every one of us, every parent, every friend, and neighbor, has the responsibility to provide the support and encouragement they need to make it through. Because we all need to see a lot more of these pictures.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton-Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.
Welcome back to SCSU Local. St. Cloud State soccer forward Wakua Moa talks about the position on the soccer team and its ambition for the game. Let's take a look.
My name is Kwaku Amoa. I play for St. Cloud State men's club soccer team. So I play forward, and at times when it's needed, I play defense to help the team out. So I'm a versatile player. I can play pretty much anywhere on the field. Forward is my favorite position because I feel like I make a difference in the game because forwards score the goals, and at the end of the day, you win by goal differential, so I definitely love that position, but nevertheless, I love soccer in general, so it doesn't matter where I play. The forward's main role is to score goals. I'm just like any sport. I mean, there's got to be some points scored for someone to be victorious, and that's the forward's main job, is score as many goals as possible, and just to help the team win. What I enjoy most about soccer is definitely the team atmosphere. I just love the sport in general. Just the fact that you have to be well cardioed, and unlike most sports, you're on the field for about 90 minutes. Okay, just the atmosphere and the team chemistry about soccer is just a blast, and because everyone on the team has got to work as hard for us to make a goal, and so it's kind of rewarding when you score, and it's rewarding not just for the goal scorer but also for the whole team and their hard work. I mean, my most memorable moment in soccer is my junior year in high school, playing club soccer for the Plymouth Wings in the summer. I scored a game-winning goal to send us to regionals, which was in California that year. It was very exciting because I feel like I made a great difference, and that's definitely a moment that I'll never forget. Football or soccer? I'll call it football because originally I'm from Ghana, West Africa. And as you know, all around the world, we all call it football except America. Of course, everything's a little different here in America, in the States, but football is what I grew up knowing it as. And I mean, it makes sense because 90% of the game you play with your foot, and so it makes a lot of sense. But I mean, soccer is a great sport. I feel like it's almost like a world language because everyone understands the game and the whole world plays it, and no matter if you speak a different language or not, you understand how to play the game.
What an ambitious soccer player. You can clearly see his enthusiasm for the game.
I would definitely agree. Did you see the way he was kicking that ball around?
Mm-hmm. SCSU has more stories after the break.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Welcome back to SCSU Local.
There are a lot of things to do locally around St. Cloud with friends and family.
Like what?
For starters, the Munsinger and Clemens Gardens are beautiful and attract a lot of attention. Let's take a look at the flowers at night. Visiting St. Cloud's Munsinger and Clemens Gardens is a really popular escape right on the Mississippi River banks.
Well, that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching SCSU Local.
Catch SCSU Local on UTVS 21 and find us on YouTube. Tune into the next show, bringing you stories from around the region.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
When the people of Haiti were hit by the massive earthquake, the people of America and the world came to their aid.
President Clinton and I have seen firsthand the power of your contributions at work.
The Clinton Bush Haiti Fund is on the ground, funding programs that create jobs, teach skills, and assist local businesses.
Please continue to help us help the people of Haiti so they can rebuild and thrive. Thank you.
Go now to ClintonBushHaitiFund.org or text Quake to 2222 to give $10.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.